Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of the demo Metalized by the band Blood Money. This demo was originally released in 1985. So before I get into the actual songs, I'm going to name off the band members really quickly. Oh, and also one other thing to mention is that because this is a compilation, technically a compilation of both their first and second demos, as well as some live tracks, I'll be going through the Metalized demo first, reviewing that, and then later on in the video I will do sort of a shorter review of both the other demo as well as the live songs. So anyway, but yeah, also there are no band member credits on here, so I have to look at another one of the releases for that. Also, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99.9% sure the band lineup stayed pretty much the same throughout their career. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't really any band lineup changes. So I'm just going off of what the other two releases say in terms of the band lineup, because the other two releases have the same lineup. So I'm just guessing that it's the same. But if I'm wrong, let me know, and I don't know. But Dale Lee on bass, Danny Fox on vocals, Brett Avok on drums, and Graham D on guitar. Also, I was wrong in the last video. Apparently, the previously unreleased demo is actually their first demo, not their second demo. Although that kind of makes sense. I'll talk about their first demo later on in the video after I talk about the Metalized demo, because for some reason the Metalized demo, even though it's their second demo, it's actually the first thing that plays on here, and the first demo is the second thing. Anyway, all right, so. Also, one other thing to mention. One other thing to mention before I start this review. During this time period in Blood Money's history, they were more of a traditional heavy metal band rather than a speed metal band that they would be starting with their first full-length album. Although I'd say maybe the very last song on the second demo, on the Metalized demo, is sort of a hint of things to come, which I'll get into shortly. But anyway, so the first song on here is called "I Was Wrong." Really cool opening track. Very just sort of has that classic early to mid '80s sort of heavy metal sort of style to it. The vocals are I guess not. I wouldn't say they're generic, but they're kind of what you would expect from this sort of UK new wave of British heavy metal sort of. The time period of the new wave of British heavy metal and some other UK heavy metal bands at the time. But they definitely have their own flair to them. Danny Fox's vocals will definitely get a lot more. Not unique, but a lot more interesting later on. But yeah, great classic heavy metal vocals. Really cool riffing and a really cool memorable chorus, along with a very memorable guitar solo. But yeah, I Was Wrong, great song. Next up is the song Salamander. This one's also really good. Again, just a very classic heavy metal sounding song. Again, not rinse and repeat, not in a bad way. Rinse and repeat in a good way. Again, great chorus. A very memorable chorus, great guitar solo, and really good vocals. Yeah, really awesome song. Sins of the World is an interesting one. This one has I'd say a slightly faster tempo than the other ones. But I'd say the chorus. So the vocals on most of these songs, especially the Metalized demo, which is I guess the second demo, not their first demo. They're not quite melodic like they would be later on. I'd say they're more rhythmic than melodic. But I'd say on Sins of the World, there's a little bit of more of a melody in there, along with more rhythmic vocals, especially in the chorus. It kind of sounds almost sort of getting his vocals are sort of getting to the point where they would on the last track, and more so on the two studio albums after this. But yeah, really cool song. Also, probably, yeah, I'd say probably the best guitar solo on the Metalized demo. Yeah, Sins of the World, another great song. Hold on. All right. And then the last track on the first demo is the demo version of the song Metalized. Now, I have to specify the demo version because the demo version is actually quite different to the studio album version that most people are familiar with. So, the demo version is, well, I do love both the demo version of the song Metalized as well as the album version. I do slightly prefer the album version. One, because, okay, so the demo version is, it's not slow, mind you. It is a pretty decently fast-paced song, but the way they do it on the album is actually even faster paced. Now, anyway, I'll just let me go through the what was I gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna just talk about the song overall really quickly. Then I'll talk about the differences between the two versions. Anyway, yeah, Metalized is a great song. Great. Again, the vocals are definitely even more, not quite there to the point of Denny Fox's later style. You know, again on the later releases, but it's definitely getting there. But yeah, great chorus. That's probably my favorite chorus. I'd say overall, I prefer the album version, but in terms of just the overall song, Metalized, I'd say probably has my favorite vocal chorus. Just really good. The actual guitar solo itself is amazing as well. Although I think it might be I don't know. I think that also might be slightly different on the album version, but yeah, maybe there's a couple notes that are different, but I think it's mostly the same on both versions. Yeah, Metalized is a fantastic song. Now, excuse me. Now, I will point out the obvious differences of the two versions. So, the version of Metalized on the demo is, even though it's a pretty fast-paced song, it is nowhere near the absolute just mind-bending speed of the album version. Also, something to take note of is the time length between the two versions. So the time length of the song Blood Money on the demo, not Blood Money, of the song Metalized on the demo, is actually 4 minutes and 24 seconds, but the album version is actually way shorter. The album version of the song Metalized is actually only around 2 minutes. Interesting. But, yeah, really great version. Love this song. But, again, I slightly prefer the album version just a bit more. I think there's a bit more sort of ferocity and just intensity to it. Yeah, that ends the, Metalized demo. So, like I said before, I was wrong in my previous video. The previously unreleased demo is actually their first demo, not their second demo. Metalized is the second demo, which kind of makes a little bit more sense considering it has the song Metalized, which is actually the only song that was repurposed for their first album. But anyway, and honestly, their second demo, which I'm pretty sure is called The First Bounty, because it's on here, it says Metalized The First Bounty, but I think, so I know for sure Metalized is the name of their second demo, but the previously unreleased one, I'm pretty sure it's the second title on here, The First Bounty, because I don't think the Metalized demo had a secondary title at the bottom there. I think it was just Metalized. I think it was just the title Metalized. So I'm pretty sure the first bounty is the name of their previously unreleased demo, which again is their first demo, not their second demo. But I can kind of understand like I don't know for sure the reason behind it, but if it was for the reason I think it might be, it kind of makes sense. Their first demo, it's actually on side 1 with the Metalyzed demo, but songs 5 to 8 from their first demo, the unreleased one, the demo is pretty forgettable. Like the main was no, it was the rhythm guitar. Is it? No, sorry. The rhythm bits of the guitar on all these songs on the unreleased demo. It's just very bland, very forgettable. The vocals are they sound very uninspired. It just all around I'm not gonna even refer to it as the first band. I'm just referring to it as the unreleased demo, but whatever. The unreleased demo should have been left unreleased, honestly. It's, again, very bland guitar work, very almost uninspired sounding vocal performance by Danny Fox, which I am shocked. Like, his vocals are usually fantastic. Even on the Metalyzed demo where they're not quite as intense and as sort of melodic as they would get later on, they're still great. But here, it sounds like he's just going through the motions. He doesn't even have any melody or that much rhythm in the chorus bits or anything. Like, he sounds uninterested. The band sounds uninterested. And yeah, I could kind of get maybe this was the reason why it was unreleased, because it's just so bland and boring. And again, all the band members just sound very like they're just going through the motions. They're not even enjoying themselves. It just sounds like they're just putting something out to put recordings to put something out, but not really having any sort of like their enjoyment while doing it. But yeah, the Metalyzed demo, fantastic. The previously unreleased demo, which is their first demo, pretty bland and should have been left unreleased. But now we get to side 2, which is actually 4 live tracks, but from I think 1987, because most of the live tracks are actually live versions of songs from their second album that was released in 87. Yeah, so the first live track is the song I can't say that word. Shapeshifter, there we go. And it's one of my favorite songs from the Battle Scarred album. It's just super fast, super intense. One of their fastest and most intense and most heaviest songs they've ever recorded. And it's just fantastic. And this live version is arguably even better than the album version. It just is a bit even heavier than the studio version, a bit more aggressive and just pulverizing. And yeah, it's just a great live version. The second live song is a live version of the song Third Wish from their first album. This one is also really good, although I will say the beginning bit, like, there's a little, like, I don't know if it's actually acoustic, but it kind of sounds maybe, but there's this sort of melodic intro bit, but it sounds really weird on this live version. I prefer the studio version in terms of the intro. But in terms of the rest of the song, it sounds probably just as good as the studio version. Another fantastic guitar solo on the song. In fact, I'd say it's probably my second favorite guitar solo besides the guitar solo on the album version of the song Metalyzed. But yeah, fantastic song. Anyway, the third song is a live version of the song Caligula, another one of my favorite songs from their second album. This one is, again, just as good as their studio version. Again, fantastic chorus, great melodic vocals, not even just the chorus, just every vocal bit on it entirely. Great guitar work and great solo work. And then the last live track is a live version of the title of their second album, Battle Scarred. This one, just like Shapeshifter, is arguably even better than the album version. Again, even more aggressive, even more pulverizing, even more just... I'd say even faster, too. Yeah, just another great live rendition of one of their classic songs. Yeah. All right, so before I get into my final thoughts and my rating, I'm gonna just talk about the cover art really quickly. So, Blood Money, all of their releases from the two albums they actually released during their time that they were together, to their early demo, to the Metalized demo. Even though that was, I think the cover of that demo, of the original release of the demo, was just the logo. But I guess from all their album artworks to their logo to the brand new album artwork for this record, they have never ever had bad album art. In fact, Blood Money has probably some of the best album artwork in all of metal, in my opinion, and one of the best and unique logos in all of metal. I absolutely love it. It's a simple color palette. You got black, blue, white, and red, and it all goes together very, very well. The actual main image here is great. It's like this blood red cityscape. I think maybe it's supposed to be sunrise or sunset. But yeah, you get this really cool like white and red cityscape with the ground here. I don't know if that's supposed to be a river of blood or water or whatever it is, but it looks really, really cool, and I love the textures on it. And then you get their, I think this is technically supposed to be their mascot. I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of like cyborg zombie thing with a chainsaw. You kind of see it partly on their first album. You only see the hand holding the chainsaw. And then on their second album, it's the full creature. You could see it fully. And then they brought it back again for this new artwork. Really, really cool. Kind of reminds me of a Terminator, almost like a Terminator zombie kind of. But yeah, really cool. And then you get the title, the main title of the demo here, Metalized, in this really awesome font. Love that. And then you get the title of the other demo here, The Last Bounty, in just a simple black font. And then, of course, the absolutely stunning logo. One of my favorite metal band logos. I always love it when bands get really creative and have like a 2-word band name, and for the logo they have one word in one font and one word in a completely different font. Just really cool sort of contrast. You got the word blood of Blood Money, in of course just sort of like made of blood, and then you have the word money, and this really cool metallic, shiny metallic sort of sharp look kind of font, and it has like 3 different shades to it, or 3 different colors to it. On the very bottom, it's like it's almost like a reflection of the action of kind of like the words down below and the artwork. On the very bottom, you get. Excuse me, on the very bottom you get red, in the middle you get white, and on the top you get sort of a dark blue. Oh yeah, really, really cool. And then on the back there's just the track listing. And there's nothing extra in here in the vinyl, it's just the standard black vinyl. So, I was trying to figure out how to rate this, because there's like technically three different releases on here, and I don't really think it's fair to actually sort of like try to rate it as one album, because it's not. And yes, technically it's a compilation album, but this is a very weird case, I guess. I'd say in terms of ratings of the Metalized demo, their second demo, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. And yeah, even though I prefer the studio version of the song Metalized over the demo version, the demo version is still great on its own. But yeah, just a really fantastic demo. And this really, to me, is really the only demo they needed. It's great, and honestly, if anyone hasn't heard the albums but haven't heard the Metalized demo, definitely check it out. It's fantastic. So yeah, the Metalized demo, a 10 out of 10. The previously unreleased demo, like I said, it's just very bland, very forgettable. The band members seem like they're just going through the motions. I give that unreleased demo maybe a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's absolutely like garbage, but it's not good either. So yeah, I'll give it maybe a 4 out of 10. Just give it a little bit of leverage because again, it's not terrible, but again, it's not good. So it's very hard to rank it, but I'd rank it pretty low. But not at the bottom. Not I wouldn't give it like a 1 or a 0 or anything or like that. But and for the live section, which I kind of see the 4 live songs, I kind of view it as sort of like sort of a mini live EP. So I'll give those live songs also a 10 out of 10, just like the Metalized demo. Just a really great set of live songs. Really good choice from their first album and some of the best songs from their second album as well. Yeah. So that was my review of the demo Metalized by Blood Money, as well as their previously unreleased demo, and then their what I guess you could consider a mini live EP as well. Yeah. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.